Maybe it's your choice, maybe it's your fate. The Flaming Hair of Fate, a creative non-fiction piece by Philip Myers, is a compelling account of the identity conflict in post-Soviet Russia. The story is told through the lens of a 22-year-old American student of poetry who spends an exchange year in Russia trying to grasp the sense of fate. Two main layers are philosophical and socio-economic ones. The first layer is linked to the "it's not your fate" idea related to a stereotypical Russian philosophy. In the story, that helplessness is shown through the struggles of the author, whose plans depend on both the goodwill of other people and luck, which he, as a US citizen, is not used to. The work puts spotlight on the differences between the Western, independent American dream values and the Russian sad reality ones. This links to Dostoevsky's works, in which he portrayed the harsh realities of Russian life. It's also related to songs of Simon Sliepakov's Cabaret, showing Russia as a country where everybody is irreversibly stuck. The socioeconomic layer relates to the ongoing revolution, hyperinflation, and the conflict of values. After the demise of the Soviet Union, Russia experienced a heartbreak, a period of trauma, and declining national spirit, which shook its society. This is shown in the St. Petersburg scene, where the author is trying to buy a train ticket, and a conflict between a cashier and ordinary citizens breaks out. This signifies the social friction and opposition towards traditional Schadenfreude values. The story also provides insightful examples from Russia, ranging from the culture of the Tatars to the inequalities between social groups and provinces. The story has a first-person narrative. We get to know the author's interpretive lens as he exposes us to his experiences, relationships, and reflections. Due to the connection, we are likely to put more effort into interpretation. Another feature is setting. We know the time, the 1990s, and the place, Russia. This allows us to put the story in context. The next feature is plot. The piece includes action and character development. We see the writer's moral conflict and struggles, learning about the timeline of his life in the US, experiences in Russia, and ultimately his lessons. Another feature is dialogue, which incorporates other characters, sparking reflections on their thoughts and behavior, allowing to understand the context more profoundly. Language and tone are also essential. The work is not based on dry facts, but rather anecdotal, humorous descriptions portrayed with informal terms such as tipsy. Moreover, the work uses a lot of metaphors, for instance Adidas wearing mafia, which make it more entertaining. Lastly, the piece exhibits situational irony and sarcastic humor, present for instance in the reference to the mafia. However, the author's account is existential and mostly sad. It is an ironic commentary, nonetheless a sad one. Some additional features are a captivating headline that, apart from being a great hook, brings our attention to the work's deeper meaning. The piece also uses symbols, for instance, having a little Stalin inside, evoking abstract ideas without directly explaining them. There's also a parallel between poetry and the piece. In the same way as poets seek truth about the realities they see, the author uses realistic details to engage the reader's empathy. The author is an expert in the topic. He employs strong evidence, which indicates a thoughtful research. Nonetheless, he's able to present the plot creatively. The story is not overly technical, since he is both selective and subjective, which makes the piece reminiscent of journalism, finding a balance between factual and anecdotal evidence. Notably, people are emphasized over a list of facts. Last but not least, the work has a purpose. Based on observations from the key period in the history of the Russian state, the piece encourages a reflection on both fate and the differences between the values, culture, and socioeconomics of different regions of the world.